And are we good? Yes, we are. Alright, sorry for that, everybody. Couple of technical issues. I think my stream just dropped as we were loading in, but here we are. My name is Jacob Meister. Welcome along to the Friday night. Round 6 here of the F2 series here at Canada. Currently just waiting on my co-commentator Baymate to join the game. He's currently verifying some game files. But for now, we'll just watch a few fast laps. Currently we've got Volcanic lapping in the Premier. Let me just get set up here. Awesome stuff. So, round 6 here at Canada. A lot of people getting some laps in already. We've missed the first few minutes of quali, but plenty of racing ahead. We've got a 20 lap feature race followed by a 14 lap sprint race. Geordie with the fastest lap currently a 1:19.2. 6 people sitting their laps. We've got a couple of new drivers as well. We've got JJ, one of our new recruits, and Vexation as well, still yet to set a lap. And some drivers still to join as well, obviously. But Volcanic just coming across the line now. Looks like an okay lap from him, a 20.8. And there was the second lap on his Super Soft as well. Super Soft being the softer compounded tyres, and that will be him done. He's just cutting the chicane there. So I'll just hop on with Vexation here. He's invalidated his last lap, but I just want to hop on with him in the car one. We'll just see how he goes for his first laps around here. Oh, and Volcanic's had a collision with T-Mac. That looks like it's been in Sector 1 somewhere. Let's see if... No, he's facing the wrong way. It's pretty unfortunate, so that's a 5 place grid penalty for Volcanic. Panda, 18.6, was talking about how he had the world record for this track, and it's certainly showing his pace right now. So Vexation now, first couple of turns. He's keeping it nice and smooth, very cautious on the throttle, doesn't want to spin. Very easy to go on the throttle too early and spin in these cars. Spice of retiring. A lot of people retiring. You only get 2 sets of tyres for this, and it looks people will just finish their stint and then that's it for quali. They don't use the full 30 minutes. Vexation just slowing down there for Panda. I'm not sure if he didn't know if he was on a lap or not. Maybe a bit too respectful. Oh, and Potsy as well behind him on his lap. Let's actually follow him. The minimap is currently red. I don't know if that's a bug or not. Potsy.
Okay, I've got my thing working all good.
Oh, there we go. Bates here as well. Awesome. We're all situated.
Guys.
We're all good.
It's a bit of a stressful start to the Friday stream, but we're here now.
Oh, we are here. Many swear words were exchanged earlier, but we're good now. Alright.
Yeah, Panda absolutely smashing it like you were saying before, and Geordie putting in a pretty respectable lap as well, and Combine's just come in second place there, Jacob.
Yeah, Combined showing his pace in the F2s like always, although Potsy, let's see if he can do something about that. Well, no, there must have been an invalid lap. He'd set a 19.2, but that was invalid. Just watching his next lap around here, he needs to set one.
Hopefully he's got enough fuel to do another one. I think he's good because his fuel light is not on.
Nice and clean, avoiding those curbs. Oh, a bit wide.
As you were saying that, good old commentator's curse.
Does he have damage? Let's have a look. Well, doesn't appear to, but he may stab some lime green or something. But...
Yeah, maybe lime green. Oh, loses the rear a little bit.
It's a nice wee spin there. Yes, hello Qatar in the chat. 22 minutes left in the session, although only a few cars still out to run. Vexation and Ando both from the pads. Potsy having a wee slide.
About to cross over into the next sector now. We'll see if he improved at all. He did not. He is very far down on his time by the looks of it. Oh, he doesn't have a time. Okay, that's why.
He's struggling.
Sorry,
he's struggling a bit on these tyres. I hope that his wear hasn't gotten too bad that he can't set a good lap. Ando's not actually in the session. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, he's trying to retire. Okay, that makes more sense. Oof.
So that's him done.
Wow, that was a crazy view on board.
So we'll just enjoy the view of the pit lane.
Maybe try backing out Ando and rejoining. I'm not sure if that will work for you. But...
Oh no, he's out of the session. I'm not sure if he can. That's odd. Anyway, we're just plagued with technical issues tonight, it seems. But
Yeah, good old Codemasters and EA. What a combination, am I right?
Hmm. But Ando, well, he's not in the session, but ugh. Okay.
Yeah. So this is really bad. I think he has to try and leave and rejoin or something. Otherwise, we will have to wait 20 minutes.
We could just do like a wee mini podcast.
Ah.
I got the time. Oh,
That's
that's funny.
actually. Uh, this game
Hmm.
is very, very buggy. I
Hmm.
can't believe that I had to verify 500 megabytes worth of files to be able to join.
Actually, while we're waiting, do you want to pull up the standings for the Friday series?
Yeah, no worries. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, so we can see Wingman is well up in fourth place. Spicer in fifth. Forehead sitting a nice time, 19.8. Times are a bit hard to see right now. Apologies, just because they're grayed out. I can't really change the camera view right now.
Okay, Jacob. There is 39 drivers on the thing, so I'll do my best only to give us maybe the top
Give
10
it the
in the
main ones. Yep,
standings.
yep.
Yep. So in first place we got Potsy sitting on a cool 130 points. So he's very in control of this championship so far. Followed by him, we in second place we have Combined YouTuber on 78 points. And then third place we've got Fever in 69 points. Nice.
Nice.
Uh, fourth place we've got Big Al on 65 points. Fifth place we have T-Mac on 62. Sixth place we have Trin on 59. Seventh place we have Band on 40. Eighth place we have Panda on 39. Ninth place we have Ali on 38. And 10th place we have Pondon on 28 points.
It's pretty interesting. Most of these people are in the session right now. Pondon, obviously, be watching the Formula One probably. They're practicing right now, I believe, in real life up in Belgium. Thanks for the follow, Kian. Much appreciated. Ando just joined and left. I'm not sure if there's more issues on his end. It's very odd.
This is not very good, but what can we do?
Maybe drop down and see what's happening, eh? Yes, g'day, Kian. Hopefully I'm getting that right. Yep, so as it stands right now, we're just, yeah. So Ando, last driver left in the qualifying session, isn't able to rejoin the session and retire. He seems to be getting booted out every time. So we're kind of here for 18 minutes unless we get a session restart. So might have to. Oh no, no, no.
Oh, there we go.
That's a migrating host. So Band's left the session. So I'm assuming that's a session restart. Well, either way, we have the quality results. Panda in first with 4 points for getting pole. 18.6, pretty commandingly, of course. Then combined, Geordie, Wingman, Spicer, four-headed 6th. T-Mac in 7th. The new driver, JJ, 8th place. Decent lap from him. Band in 9th and Volcanic in 10th. He does have 2 grid place penalties, so he will start at the back. But we'll just see what happens here, guys. Apologies for that. I'm going to have to adjust this screen. Oh, no, I'm not. Perfect. So we'll just sort out these issues right now, and we're back in a couple of minutes with some racing, hopefully. Alright guys. So a couple of issues there, but now we're back we're back going again, and we're going to restart the quali because too many people were having issues apparently. So some people weren't able to set laps straight away. So hopefully this should resolve it, and we've got different weather as a result, but it'll still be dry. Thanks for the follow, ended 22. So we actually get to see quali this time at least, see these people's pace, and Panda's going to have to redo his 18.6 sadly.
I'm sure if he's been practicing, he should be able to recreate a similar lap, even if he's off by a few tenths. He's still in the contention for pole very easily. But it'll be interesting to see if Potsy's now being given a second chance. So he may actually be able to put in a lap that contested with Panda.
Yeah, it's pretty odd. We don't usually see this where we just redo quali, but so many people, Fever and Potsy, two front runners, actually weren't able to set laps straight away. Big Al, also very quick, didn't set a lap either, and Ando was having issues joining, but looks like he's just dropped entirely now. So it is what it is, I suppose, and Panda was ahead by half a second, so he's definitely got the pace to at least keep pole position probably. He's just got to do it again. Alright, so on board with Geordie here, first car out. Hasn't done any practice this time around. See how he goes. Oh, that's a lovely camera shot, there we go.
Gotta love that, those revs.
Yeah, hang on.
There we go. No, no.
Hang on, I've got to Has that fixed it?
I think it should.
No, it isn't.
It usually fixes it when he takes off. It's usually when they're just sitting there, not accelerating very hard.
Yeah. We found that with like the traditional wave glitch, you just alt-tabbed and it would be fine, but this doesn't fix it. Oh, here we go. It's fixed itself. Rejoice. Thanks for the follow, Scaredy Scoob. We're about to see Geordie with the first of many qualifying laps around here at Canada. Oh, the revs are beautiful as usual, but nice line for
It's a pretty decent run into there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And here he goes, coming to the first turn. Used to take a lot of curbs, still do in these cars. And this corner always feels too slow, but he's done that pretty well. Nice and clean so far. Coming into this right-left complex here. Nothing a lot of that, just missing that wall. You have to get very close to that wall there. Again,
it's
another
very neat and tidy so far.
Yeah, another tricky off-camber sort of corner there. It's very tidy so far. Engine sounds different to what it... Yeah, these F2s do sound a bit up. The F1 engine sounds I just didn't really give much credit for in the first place, to be honest. Not bad though. This is a very clean lap from Geordie so far. Yeah, they're F2s. There we go. There we go. We've figured it out. We're running F2s. You can see that's on the F1 car. It's Felipe Dragovic's MP Motorsport. Thankfully the rear wing came up so I could remember the team name. Down the back straight here.
See if you can pull off a similar kind of run through the chicane and avoid the wall of champions. Very neat and held back. I'm not sure if that's the quickest we could see drivers go through there, Jacob.
That
but
is pretty quick actually, I think.
that is a very good time, yes, because I think Panda's last pole time was an 18.5?
18.6, yeah.
Yeah. Which he's just done then.
Incredible
yeah,
stuff.
no, that
there.
was a very good lap, but yeah, no, definitely more time out there for those drivers.
Oh, there you go,
no,
Panda.
Yeah, you got the exact same time. Very crazy. We got 3 drivers in the 18s at the moment. That is proving to be quite a competitive time, as a lot of other drivers are struggling to get in the out of the 19s. As Feber, the other quick driver we were mentioning before, has just got himself into the 18s as well.
Yeah, a lot of people really cracking into the 18s here. I'm just on with Big Al right now. Another one of those pacey drivers in the F2s. Just coming through near the end of Sector 2 now, coming up to the hairpin very soon. More times rolling in, Bandit for 20.8. Volcanic is retired with a 19.7. Forehead and T-Mac flirting around the mid-19s. Big Al with a decent Sector 2 time so far, and coming down this big long straight here. See what he does here coming up to the chicane. Just hitting 300, 310 maybe? Just about. Don't want to take too much curb there, and that, yep, he's invalidated on the second turn there. The very last turn there. 18-2 from Panda, that's illegal.
Wow.
Wow.
Great time.
That was
I'm just
massive air time.
No worries, I'm just on board with Wingman behind him. He's on his quick lap now. It's looking pretty tidy. It should be relatively competitive. He doesn't have any purple sectors or anything, but it's definitely looked very tidy from the get-go, so it might actually be quite a competitive time here.
Yes, Wingman, fellow Kiwi. He's been in lockdown recently. He's had plenty of time to practice. He's been going very hard with the F1 cars, but he's got pace in these as well. Let's see what time he can put up here. Looking like a 19 so far. Yes, 19.3, and that puts him in 7th.
Still a very respectable time. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, no, Forehead retired. He's not going out on those wets, thank God. I believe Combined YouTuber has invalidated his lap. Oh, he'll be not very happy with that.
He'll be going on
he
enough.
Won't have enough fuel to do another.
You have to put in some sort of lap. He'll get one place from it, maybe.
He doesn't have enough fuel.
No. He's backed up fully there, so. Oh no, is he?
I don't know. Like, there's no way he's got another out lap and then a lap of fuel. No way. So I think he's just having the drive of the realization that he is probably going to be starting on the back row with Big Al. Yeah, there we go. Very unfortunate for Combined there, but that's the high pressure situation of these qualies when you only get one tyre set amount of fuel. If you make a mistake, you get punished.
And Wingman just retiring there, just on his in-lap, so to speak. It's going pretty slowly, and that does conclude F2 qualifying. Panda with an amazing lap there, 18-2. You know, I was talking about how he did have the world record in time trial, and he does get 4 points for his efforts. Feber and Geordie not too far behind, but still around half a second. That's insane. Feber, Geordie, Podsy, all in the 18s. Forehead in 5th, but he has a 5-place grid penalty. T-Max 6th, Wingman, Volcanic, Vexation, one of our new drivers, and Band rounds out the top 10. And just missing out was JJ, setting a 121.4 with Spicer, Combined, and Big L not setting a time.
Wow. Yeah, interesting grid here. We got quite a few of the Tier 1 drivers at the front of the grid there battling with each other. I'm sure we'll see some good battles there.
Yeah.
A few of them stuck at the back as well, being Combined and Big Al, so they'll have an interesting time trying to navigate their way through the field.
Oh, some people just relish that though. I remember,
for sure.
Was it season 4, season 5 or something? You just always have people like Revo and Mikau just always like starting at the back just to fire it up. It's fun, you know. And those guys will have a blast tonight probably, but you just hope they don't get into any crashes because it is dangerous having to go back through the field and any sort of incident can happen. But 20 laps around here, 1 mandatory pit stop. Got to change your tyres at least once. Not within the first 3 laps and not during a virtual safety car. There we go. I think I got that.
Thanks. Car Guy 90, thanks for the follow. You were just about to say it.
Thank you very much, Lee, for the follow. Yes, exactly. And hello there, Lunchbox. We're just about to start our formation lap here at Canada. 20 laps of the feature race, 14 laps of a sprint race as well afterwards. Do stick around. And these guys will just be warming up their tyres for a lap around Canada before we get going. Just get set up here. Alright, so Panda and Faber, this top 4 is nuts. These guys have a lot of pace. They're going to be very close. Even though Potsy just cutting the hairpin, but even though Panda was ahead by a few attempts, I don't think it's going to be so easy for him to run away. But if Faber and Geordie and Potsy sort of get tangled in their own battle, then Panda may just be able to do that. But then that opens up the door for people like T-Mac and Wingman and people that can keep it clean like Band. You know, they can really get a few spots here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also predicting here, Jacob, that the top 4 will make a few mistakes. I'm imagining with the stakes being so high, with them all battling each other regularly, as you just saw Panda lose it and get wing damage. Thank God it's on the formation lap.
Oh, did he?
Or or he would have been punished from there. But yeah, I'm imagining a few mistakes that happen. These F2s are just they're quite a hard beast to tame. You don't want to be, you know, getting too hard on the throttle. You don't want to carry too much speed into the corner because of the understeer. They're actually quite a challenge to drive. So I do expect them to make some mistakes, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and it is Canada too. It's very easy to pick up warnings and in-game penalties as well. So these penalties and just keeping it clean is going to be a key factor in where you finish, basically. Drivers coming through this last chicane now, through past the World Champions, gridding up to start this 20-lap race here at Canada. That car guy saying, is it just me or is being at the back just more fun? Yeah, I agree. If the cars in front of you are slower. That's what I think. Otherwise you just fall back and then you feel like you're wasting your time the whole race. I've been there before, it's not fun. And everyone also starting on the soft tyre. That is the harder compound here, I believe. So they'll be hopping onto super softs later, I think. It's kind of interesting. And it's not Monaco, says Mikkel. Yeah, that helps too. Alright, so 5 red lights here at Canada. These guys can keep it clean as we eventually start. Panda and Fibo both getting good starts. Oh! There's a Carlin around at the back there. That is vexation. It's him long gone. Panda does hold the lead. Fibo right on him. Bunch of 2 wides around through this first couple of corners, but they're all fine.
Bandcamp losing a few positions, dropping all the way back. Pretty far back, as although he just takes Mr. Spicer there.
T-Mac and Wingman side by side here. Wingman on the inside here, trying to make something happen. Now, the inside does turn to the outside though, but he's got enough speed to sort of overtake T-Mac there. He just gets a little bit loose. And that means he has to leave Volcanic through as well, although T-Mac may force the issue.
Oh, they're going to go side by side here, Jacob. Oh, there's a touch contact.
Oh! Who arrived on the scene like that?
Forehead! It was forehead!
And he spun around for that. He does get back going. Wow.
That'll be a 6 or 8 head after that one.
Wow, but that was very unfortunate for those in front before here.
Potsy's right on the back of Fever here. He's getting he's got the slipstream heavily. Oh, he decides to just follow him through the chicane here, going straight past World Champion. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jacob.
I just saw him back out there, yeah. So I'm just trying to sort out who has wing damage. I think Forehead definitely does. It was a pretty heavy smack. I think I saw either T-Mac or Volcanic as well. The Volcanic's in the pits even. That's going to be very... He's going to have to do a 2-stop now, basically. And he is getting his wing changed.
Big Al and Mr. Spicer. Big Al just goes past Mr. Spicer. Bit of nice side-by-side action there. Very respectful from both drivers. Now Big Al will be chasing down his teammate Bandcamp there. But Mr. Spicer is definitely not done with Big Al yet, as he loses the rear end a little bit, Jacob. Cost himself almost a second.
That was very scary. I think he'll just be happy that he's still going, to be honest, with no damage. I just saw him just sort of have to take a second stab at that turn as well. Seems to be struggling a little. I'm wondering if there's any damage on that car as well. Nope, all good. I just saw Combined take JJ. Combined started at 13th or something, I believe. And now he's up to 6th, so great running from him. Actually, I can probably check that now. Yeah, he's up 7 spots as Combined. It's a great start from him.
Yep, for sure. And just like we said at the start, we've got the top 4 all within a second of each other. As I was saying that, Geordie's just fallen out of DRS. I'm sure he'll be very keen to get back in that battle that's about to start happening here.
And there it
Geordie
is.
gets a 3-second penalty. Ugh, the mistakes are already creeping in.
And that's going to be a big thing. Expect more of those penalties rolling in. Volcanic is retired. He's crashed out, I believe. And that is a virtual safety car. Just saw Vexation just lose.
Oh no! Yeah, I saw that as well.
Oh,
we got Forehead in the pit. Vexation's retired as well.
I think he just retired on track there. Yep. That's. He's not around anybody else, so no danger of him getting in the way. But still, and Forehead just looks like he's getting a tyre stop done. He will need to change his tyres again, though, if that's the case. You see the stop's usually a lot slower just because the people who do the front tyres have to do the wing as well, so it takes twice as long usually because of that.
Geordie's fallen really far back under VSC here, Jake. I'm not sure if he's being really cautious about the delta in this game because it is very hard to judge. But yeah, he's fallen very far back. I'm not sure if he was just that far back when it got triggered, but yeah, I'm not sure that's where he wanted to be, allowing Wingman to even catch him.
Yeah, I think he's just leaving a little bit of room for the delta. All drivers have to follow a delta under the virtual safety car so they don't go too quick. But I think he's just giving himself a bit of a buffer so that way when we do about to go green, he can sort of just gun it and not have to worry too much. But he's had to back off a little bit there, as you probably just heard.
Go on board with FIBA. We got him very, very eager behind Panda. As it's just ending right now, FIBA's got DRS as well. He might even try and make a move here on Panda.
Yeah, Panda blocking. FIBA trying to force it on the inside here.
Ooh.
And Panda just carrying too much speed, but FIBA might have... No. Panda's just covering off
sticking his nose in there as well.
This is wonderful racing. FIBA's still trying to force the issue though. Well, I don't think he can really stick on the outside there. No, he has to back out.
Oh, how unlucky. This has allowed Geordie to catch back up within a second as well. Oh, as I say that, he drops back out of it. As FIBA goes for a dive on Panda there, Panda leaves in the room, so there wasn't any contact. But definitely not what FIBA wants to have happen. He's about to receive DRS, but he's got Potsy right up his back.
Well,
He's going to have to defend from Potsy as well.
This is great racing.
I'm sure when they're on Casino Straight, we might see a position change here.
We may just. Coolboy asking in the chat if we're doing another race afterwards. Yes. This is the 20-lap feature race, where we're having a 14-lap sprint race afterwards. Why are we racing F2? Because it's Friday. It's just that night. The F2, it's Friday. That's what it stands for. But Potsy here is really eyeing up this Panda FIBA battle. These two are really going at it.
Ooh. I think FIBA's going to go for it here. Oh, he decides better of it. He almost cut the track.
There was a bit of overlap.
Potsy a great run.
There was some overlap there, I tell you. They really slowed each other down.
Potsy, thinking about making it 3 wide as FIBA tries going on the outside now, which will become the inside for P2. Oh, he's sticking his nose in there, Potsy, as well, but FIBA will have to stay behind Panda, unfortunately, but Panda does have a 3-second penalty as well, which didn't notice before.
FIBA had to back off a little bit there. Didn't get as good an exit as Potsy, and just a tiny tab there. I don't think that affected anything, though. These three are so close.
Even Wingman and Geordie will be right on the back of him now as well.
Oh, Potsy has lost it! Coming up the exit of that turn. He's just going to have to spin it around. That's very unfortunate. He should be able to claw back up a couple of spots, but you can see the cars filing through now. Band will even be able to challenge him here. And that he does.
Well, unfortunate for Potsy.
Oh! Just avoids that wall. But because he cut the trick, he was able to avoid... Now, yeah, Potsy does reduce that. Yep, that's good sportsmanship there. So, lap 5 of 20, soon to be lap 6. Potsy has dropped off this insane battle between Panda and FIBA. I was going to say, this is what we love about the F2s. You can just battle so close. It's so tight, the racing. It's great.
The run FIBA's got on Panda isn't enough this time round unless he goes for a dive. Oh, he thinks about sticking his nose in there, Jacob, but decides better of it. Panda does a very good job of blocking off the switch back there. As Wingman's overtaken Geordie, I didn't even realise.
Yeah, I just caught the end of that, but yes, Wingman is now in 3rd place. It's great running from him so far. But just keeping an eye on this
FIBA. Another 3 seconds. Oh no.
Oh dear. Again, we're going to see more of them. And FIBA just getting 3 seconds on that inside curve. We just saw that. Just mounting his front right there caused that.
Also got quite an interesting battle happening between Band, Big Al and Potsy right now. But this battle's too close to cut to the other battle currently, as FIBA will potentially be making a move down this straight.
How good's the exit? He will have the slipstream regardless, and he will have DRS. This won't be a comfortable pass, but he can get alongside here if he wants to.
Ooh, he's going to get a great run. He's going to fly past him before the corner.
And Panda's forcing the issue again. And they both avoid Wall of Champions. That's pretty well done from both of them to avoid that. Geordie's coming to the pits, and FIBA is still trying to get ahead of Panda here. This is wonderful defending.
Wow, just going back to Big Al right now. He's passing Bandcamp. They're going side by side. I think Big Al might have the move done. There's also a side by side with JJ and Potty, and I think that was Bandcamp just losing the rear there. Oh, how unlucky.
Yeah, just got a bit unsettled. We just saw, just in the foreground, Potsy just making a move on JJ. He's up into 5th now. Still trying to recover his race a little bit. And JJ just ceding another spot there to Big Al.
As we saw JJ just fly past Bandcamp there.
Or was he ahead of him? Oh, that's odd. Well, anyway, he's ahead of Band right now.
Bieber's still within that 2/10. He almost rear ends Panda just then, but he's going to get a great run on Panda. Will this be the time he gets the move done, Jacob?
This is a lot better this time. I feel like Panda's running some pretty low aero to make this work. There must be some sort of difference between the two cars, but Fever's just reining him in the DRS.
Well, Fever stays ahead this time, gets into the lead, and will carry DRS all the way through to T1.
That's a great move there from Fever. That was very tight, and good racing from both of those drivers to not have any incidents there.
Wingman is just loving the thought that these two are battling and swapping positions, because this will enable him to stay within their DRS if he can go through these next corners all good, but it seems to be that way so far.
Potsy just hit another little off there, just coming through turn 1 and 2. He's just gathered himself up into 6th place, and I just saw Spicer overtake JJ coming into turn 1. So Spicer now in 8th place right now. But Panda...
Also, Band's got ahead of JJ again.
Yeah, JJ just falling
Potsy
down.
loses it! Oh goodness, he just goes straight off. Not sure what happened to him there.
He's having some issues. Has he got wing damage? Or... I can't tell from this angle. We'll check that later, but for now, Panda trying to get around on Fever here.
Wingman's just right behind them as well.
And Geordie, he's just retired on track as well, sorry.
Wonder if they'll bring out a safety car. The 1 and 2 yellow flag? I don't think so at this point.
No. Panda not quite able to get a move done. Fever, 3 seconds. Let's just go over the penalties really quickly. I'll just jump up the Spicer.
This man almost loses the rear there.
Yeah, I'll just quickly switch to the penalties while nothing crazy is going on. So, Potsy with 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. He's definitely having issues tonight, but Fever with 6 seconds, Panda with 3, Wingman with 3 now, good timing, thank you. Spicer with 3 seconds, T-Mac with 3, and Potsy now with 11 seconds, and this race is pretty much a write-off for him. Panda shadowing Feeble right now. These two are very close pace-wise. Panda has DRS. He's on the outside here. Turns into the inside for the next corner. But this also means Fever will be behind and will have DRS on this straight.
Wingman is getting so close to the back of Fever now because of Fever losing the rear a little bit there. Oh, a little tap from Wingman.
There was a beautiful angle. We just saw him just run into him now.
I think Band might be a bit of a sitting duck here to Mr. Spicer as well.
Yeah, the others have fanned out and Band's gone wide.
Ooh. Wait, will that give Band DRS? I'm not sure.
No, it's before the hairpin. Yeah.
Oh, it's before the hairpin, my bad.
That's pretty...
Spicer.
No, you're good.
Yeah, Mr. Spicer should just sail past here.
Yeah, nice and easily done for 6. Yes, I was just about to say, Band does that quite a lot, taking the outside line through the hairpin, sets him up for a really good exit. But if you go too wide and you go too deep, then you tend to sort of just almost ceding the position there to the person behind. And is that Potsy losing it again just before the hairpin? Yeah, he's just got him going again. But...
Interesting update here, Jacob. Wingman's received a 3-second penalty as well, so now Combined is sitting in a great place. He is technically, with penalties applied, in first place right now.
Let's just check that. Yes, he's currently 3.3 seconds behind the leader. The leader only has 3 seconds, but so he is very close. But he's in a great spot, and the way these guys have been racing, and how hard they've been battling, they're halfway through the race, and there's so much more chance for so many more penalties. But oh no, Potsy's got it going again. I thought there was going to be a safety car. He didn't DNF there.
Wait, I'm just noticing, Jacob, was that Panda commenting in chat while racing?
No, that's a different Panda. You're good. Potsy with 10 seconds for corner cutting. I believe they must be cutting the first couple of corners. You must have some pretty heavy wing damage to do that. So, but either way, bit of irrelevant. The race right now, lap 11 of 20. Panda, Fever, and Wingman, your top three. Everybody else sort of fanned out, but JJ is kind of on Bandcamp right now, but not really able to make a move as it is. So the field's pretty static for right now, and Potsy's retired. See if we can catch that, just watching Panda's view here. And there's a full safety car, that's going to bunch up the grid. Everybody's going to have to pit here, maybe. I don't know how long the super softs last. And you can see Potsy just in the left there. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they should pit because there'll be 2 or 3 laps under safety car. So that will take them to lap 13, 7 laps on the super softs. I'm pretty sure that should be okay. Yeah, you would have to pit. It'd save you so much time under this safety car.
Yeah. Now, how beautiful is this for combined? No penalty. Same for Big L. They've closed up that gap effectively that we were talking about just earlier there.
Don't forget about Mr. Clean. Bandcamp over there.
No penalties as always. Forehead can actually come back into the race here. He can get his mandatory pit stop done, his mandatory tyre change. Never say never. And Panda and Wingman both get 5 seconds here. Wow. So that's Panda on 8 seconds, Wingman on 8 seconds, and Fever is on 6 seconds. Combined and Big L are going to have a field day.
Yeah, for sure. You would hope, though, that Panda, Fever, and Wingman all realise that they almost need to work together to get away from the rest of the field that doesn't have the penalties. So it'll be very interesting to see how much they battle after this safety car, because obviously they want better positions, but you don't want to be sticking around with the people without penalties for too long.
Just noticing, Band has stayed out. I believe he's avoiding a double stack here.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the case, but I don't know if that was the best move for him. Actually, yeah, no, he would have lost many positions under pit, so this way at least get to go out for another lap. But yeah, all the grid will be very bunched up by the time he goes into the pit, so he might even have to wait until after safety car, stretch the softs for another few laps.
Yes, so as it is right now, let me just recap the penalties. So some people will have served their 5 seconds from earlier, but it looks about as expected. So Panda and Wingman both have 8 seconds, Fever with 6, and Spicer and T-Mac with 3 seconds. JJ is retired!
Oh no, under safety car.
He's just gone, he's gone straight ahead there.
Yeah, he's just gone straight ahead into the wall. Not sure what's going on with that.
What? Oh well. Survival of the fittest right now. There's only 9 running cars here. This is incredible.
Oh, still on track of JJ's. Forehead's about to go straight past it now. He's still just stuck there against the wall. Damn, went literally straight off. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that's possible.
Puncture. No, wouldn't have been there to get debris on track. Yeah, no, that's very odd. But Band's staying out.
Yeah, because if he pit now, it'd be in 8th.
Wow.
So he's going to have to just stretch these softs for another few laps and get in and hope that the drivers behind him get into a bit of kerfuffle so he can get some positions back from this. But very unfortunate for the high-tech driver. Is it high-tech?
Yeah, high-tech. So Forehead's still going to catch the safety car. The safety car goes at the same speed regardless of the series, so it is a bit tougher to catch up on the safety car in these F2s. But thank you all for tuning in so far, guys. Currently just past halfway here, lap 13 of 20. Not too long in this race. Then we have a 14 lap sprint race coming up afterwards. Do stick around. The top 8 will be reversed for that. So as it is right now, Wingman would start first for the next race if they were to finish how they are now.
I actually just realised what happened to Wingman?
He just pit.
But he pit when everyone came in originally, so he's pit again.
Yeah, that's odd. Maybe he got wing damage. Or maybe this is part of the... No, he was too far ahead of JJ. That wouldn't have been
Yeah,
that.
he served his 5-second penalty now. He pit again.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah, wow.
that could be deliberate. If you've got the pace to go back up and then you haven't got a 5 second to worry about.
Yeah. But he was in 3rd place. Seems a bit odd, but we'll see what happens with it. Maybe he, like you said, he got wing damage. Ah! Bandcamp's got a 5-second penalty for speeding, and he's coming to the pits now, Jacob.
Missed the camp. Oh dear. That's pretty unfortunate. That is a very annoying pit lane to enter, though. I mean, in all fairness.
For sure. Especially if you haven't practiced with entering it with these cars, which I'm sure most drivers haven't. We just got informed by Lunchbox there in the chat that Wingman broke his wing on the first after the first pit.
Yeah, it had to be that. It was, yeah. It's very unfortunate, but again, he has served his 5 second. He does have pace on some of the drivers ahead, so he may still be able to salvage something here. And as we said earlier, Combined and Big Al, they're just in a really good spot here.
Yeah, great spot. But Panda and FIBA are very quick. I wouldn't put it past them to drive out of those penalties. They are very big though.
Yeah, and in this race especially, it's going to change the complexion of the standings a little bit, because Potsy has a very commanding lead in the Friday Series standings as it is, and to be retired right now with a decent 25 points or whatever it is, I've forgotten the number frankly, whatever number of points it is for winning this race, to really close the gap up to him currently leading.
Sure, Ben's just caught the back of the pack there, as we have been informed that the safety car is in this lap.
Yeah, 25, Mikhail, thank you. Had a feeling it was.
So we'll go on board with, we'll go to the front of the pack now, Jacob, and we'll see what Panda does.
Yeah, I'm just on with Combined here, just so I can see how everybody reacts to the start. See when Panda goes. FIBA giving it dead straight, and Panda's going with the chicane. Combined not getting a good start, but we're back underway here at Canada.
FIBA's right on the back of him.
Yeah, don't be able to do anything. Oh, have we got to dive further back? No, we don't. Everyone's keeping it pretty civil.
Well, Big Al's all over the back of Combined here. Combined losing the rear a little bit. Big Al's getting really close, but I don't think he'll be able to make a move. I'm sure he's eyeing it up for very soon. As we got Wingman with another 3-second time penalty. How unfortunate.
Yes, and what I was saying earlier about getting rid of that 5 second doesn't really help now when you've got another 3 seconds to worry about.
Well, T-Mac's all over the back of Mr. Spicer as Mr. Spicer loses the rear, but T-Mac won't have a good enough run to overtake him here. And I'm just watching Wingman trying to plow through the field, but yeah, everyone's on the same tyre as him. Very hard for him to get an advantage here. He's behind so many drivers.
How do we look there? He can sort of try and make a move before the straight. There's no DRS for a few laps, so it's not a massive deal.
He's still in a pretty good place to get 8th place, potentially, which is kind of what you want when you're at this side of the grid, because 8th place, like Jacob said before, equals pole position for the next race, as both T-Mac and Combined YouTube are getting a 3-second penalty as I was saying that, Jacob.
Well, yeah, I think must have been just on the chicane. They're very tight going into turn 1 right now. The Wingman does get the sort of command the line there and does take 6th place there. I just saw Band just overtake Forehead there, just on the straight. So Band now in 8th place, but with penalties, Forehead should jump up. How far up does it jump? I can check that for you right now. If I always lose where it is. It's over here. And Forehead would jump up to 6th, which is pretty insane right now. So Combined's got 3 seconds and Big Al doesn't. And Combined and Big Al have both made 10 spots this race. Great race from both of them so far.
I think with FIBA's, the way it's looking right now, should be able to outrun Combined on that penalty. But Big Al is a different story. Like you're saying, he doesn't have any penalties, so Be very interesting what happens there, but Panda with the 8 seconds in a horrible position.
Wow. So as it is, Big Al is effectively in the lead here. He's only 3.2 seconds behind the leader. It's, oh,
wow.
I have to work it out on the
All
fly.
the penalties
Combined!
are coming in. Oh no!
And Combined spun on the very last turn.
And he's got wing damage, massive wing damage as well, Jacob.
Oh no.
It's not what he wanted.
It's very unfortunate.
I don't think he'll even be able to get the 8th place here as well. He's going to probably be starting 9th. Very unlucky. But Big Al's still in a great position here. Everyone around him is on penalties.
Oh, and the fastest lap so far is Panda with a 19.3. So he will get that fastest lap point.
Wingman on Mr. Spicer. Ooh, gets the move done.
And T-Mac having a look-see.
T-Mac right behind. Oh, he's lost it. He's managed to hold on to it though, Jacob.
Well and truly. He just got a bit too close there. That's a little bit unfortunate. He had such a good run there, but he does hold position for now. And Spicer, he was all over Wingman for a second there, but he will have DRS here. I think it's on this lap, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so. I think it's a DRS enabled
yeah,
at the start of last lap. So, yep, there we go. DRS will be enabled for Mr. Spicer here, but he's a bit too far back to make a move, I think. So we're probably thinking of using the DRS to almost stay with Wingman here.
Yeah, pretty much. Faber got pretty close to Panda as well. Faber really just has to stick with him, although he'd like to get past and sort of try and make a bit of time, but you can't really do that. The two are just so close together in terms of pace, they just hold each other up. T-Mac very close to Spicer through the first couple of turns here. Wingman, Spicer and T-Mac all equal on pens. Ben not far behind, only has 1 second less. So last few laps here, crunch time for some of these drivers.
Ooh, T-Mac's got a great run, but he loses the rear again. But Mr. Spicer does not have DRS, so T-Mac will fly straight past him here.
Spicer kept that one pretty clean. Just backed off there, I think.
Yeah, I think he's just happy where he is right now. Doesn't want to have any damage done to his race, which is fair enough. But he will have Band, who only needs to get within a second of Mr. Spicer to overtake him after the penalties get applied.
Thanks for the follow, Puma Pants. Puma Pants. Damn it, I knew I'd fall for one of those.
Ah, that's great.
Good,
Pants.
Good stuff. Good name. Good stuff.
Great name.
See, Kieran always catches it. I don't. I'm just gullible.
Bandcamp with another 3-second penalty, Jacob. And he loses a position of forehead. I'm not sure what happened to him there. He's
off.
Sideways on the pit straight.
He's parked. This isn't a parking lot, Ben. You've got a race to run. Oh no.
Oh, Combine's just got pole.
For the next race, if he holds it, yes.
Wow. What a series of events.
Wow. 2 laps to go here.
Bandcamp with the... Oh, yeah, he must have had to cut it with the damage he has. But Faber getting pretty keen to get past Panda as he almost loses the rear there. Wow.
Wow, that was nicely held. Nicely held. It's always a bit scary to see.
Is stay where he is, Jacob, and he wins the first race because Panda does have that 2 extra seconds of penalties.
Oh, but there's still Big Al. Let me just... Yeah, Big Al's 5.1
Oh, yeah, for sure.
behind.
Oh, no, Big Al. Oh, yeah, sure.
But he'll get second. Yeah. He'll finish ahead of Panda is the thing. He's very loose, this car. I'm wondering if he's just losing some grip due to how old these tyres are, but... Last lap here.
I'm just noticing as well, Jacob, Big Al's fallen off 5/10 since we started talking about this. Wow. The gap is only 6 seconds between Faber and Big Al that is needed for Faber to win this race. So, I don't know, it's going back down now, but you never know what might happen in this last lap.
Yeah, Big Al needs to put in a clean lap still. That's a good point. It's 5.5, the gap between Panda and Big Al, but 2.5 seconds is a bit of a big ask, even so. We'll just have to see what happens, I suppose.
Yeah, Big Al lost the rear a lot there. I think he's feeling the pressure from this, Jacob. He just lost 2/10 from that. still got quite a buffer, but I mean, one more big mistake like that, and it's all over for Big Al. Yeah, he's 5/10 down now.
It's 5.9, nearly 6 seconds now, that gap. And he might even lose out the Fever. Yeah, this is it, exactly. 5 more attempts, and Fever will win the race. So let's just hop up with Panda and Fever here, just as they come through the chicane.
Fever's got DRS as well, which Big Al will not have.
Wow. Don't make a move, Fever. Oh no.
Oh, he's making the move. He's cost himself. That would have cost himself the win there.
They might have just. Yeah, Big Al's gained a bit of time back on him. Hard to say, I suppose, but Big Al.
Oh, it's almost there, Jacob. It's almost there. Oh my God, he wins the race by the tiniest margin. Wow. Well, it ended up being 5/10 there. Not sure what happened there. From my screen, it was a lot closer. Anyways.
He gained that back on the run out, I believe. Fever just had to take it a bit narrow, but Big Al does win the race. Fever second, Panda in third. Forehead finishes in fifth after being nearly a lap down. It's a great finish from him. Combined, we'll start on pole for the next race as we just wait for Band to just crawl across the line here. Very little wing intact, I believe.
Very unfortunate for Bandcamp there, but the Wall of Champions claim champions, as you just saw.
Big Al driver of the day, yeah, fair enough. Still got one more race to run after this goes due. Stick around for a 14-lap sprint race here at Canada. As we just hop through the podium celebrations now. Did I do podium celebrations for the feature race? Although, don't they do that at the end usually? It's...
I mean, it's on 2 separate days, isn't it? So.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yes, that's... Oh, well, we'll leave that for somebody else to answer, I suppose, but not really a massive issue for now. It's per race? Yeah, it's per race. I thought because it was the weekend. Man. Alright, thanks for correcting my derpiness, Mikhail. But anyway, Big Al there with a pretty convincing win in the end. Not getting any penalties, keeping it clean. This is the main thing. He will pick up the full 25 points. Fever in second, Panda in third. He does get 2 points for the fastest lap. Wingman also in fourth place. Good drive from him. Forehead in fifth. No penalties, nearly a lap down. He's crawled himself back out of there and he scored pretty well because of it. Also, T-Mac, Spicer, Combined, and Band will round out the points finishes here at Canada. Just missing out and retiring early, we have JJ, Potsy, Geordie, Volcanic, and Vexation rounding out our list of drivers here as we head for our sprint race.
We're excited to see what happens here where these quick drivers have to fight their way through the grid. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
It's a smaller grid too. There's only 9 drivers that were running at the end, and I think most of them left. Let's see who is still around, I suppose. We should have at least 10. I think I saw Vexation join earlier. Don't know if he's still around though, but still should be some good tight racing though. We've seen some great battles from Fever and Panda, and a lot of good battles down back as well.
So what are your predictions for this race, Jacob?
Chaos, multiple murders, etc, etc. I mean, it's tough. Combined is in the lead going into this, and he's got some decent pace. So, I mean, he's going to be one to look out for. Spicer, T-Mac, Forehead, all could be very good blockers to really hold up people like Wingman and Panda and Fever and Big Al, who are trying to fight their way back up to the top. So Combined could very easily get a nice buffer and just sort of run away a little bit from these real front runners here. Bandcamp just missing out on the top 8, but as always, he'll try and keep it clean, and he always has kept it clean usually. He just was very unfortunate with that small incident in the last race. Is this the same race? Nope, it's a separate race, but it's part of the same sort of weekend structure, if that makes sense. Part of the same round, that's what I'm trying to find here. So, of the people that were in the race earlier, JJ, Potsy, Geordie, Volcanic, and Vexation, they're all not participating. They're all just AI drivers, so it's just 9 people in this race, unfortunately. But still, again, should be some good tight racing here.
Also, for those unaware or new to watching F2s, for this sprint race, there is no mandatory pit stop. So all the drivers have to do is just drive on the tyres and make it last. So we should see quite a lot of on-track battles as opposed to strategy battling, and it should be very exciting.
Fixation glitched out, couldn't get back in. Rip. That's probably been the theme of the night, to be honest. We've had technical issues sort of plagued tonight all the way through, but thank you for sticking around, everybody. Just about to start our sprint race here in Canada. It's been very good so far. These guys have put up some pretty nice racing. There's been a lot of drama as well. A few crashes. We saw a car airborne during quali as well. It's been good times, but 14 more laps around here.
Very impressive, actually.
Oh, very good racing. Just waiting for the last couple of drivers, the AI drivers, lining up on the grid. Alright. 5 red lights here. Let's hope the UI even. There we go. They rev up and away they go here at Canada. AI drivers sort of lagging behind it a little bit. Spicer and Combined side by side. Spicer's trying to take the outside line, but just going too deep. He's going to get swallowed up here. T-Mac all the way around the outside. It's 3 wide down back almost there. Fever's up in the 5th already.
Oh, Fever's getting all sorts of squiggly under power, and Panda's just followed him straight through. Not sure what's going on with the leaderboards there, but Fever's side by side with Panda, the two people battling for the race lead last race. Oh, they're both going to go side by side. Right past Forehead, that both of them overtake one driver at the same time. Wow.
And Wingman tried to get Forehead there, but Forehead just has the better run. But that was 3 wide pretty much. And now Big Al is up against Forehead and... Oh, and even Band's in this. This is... Oh, sorry, my bad. That was Band, sorry. But wow, this is really close racing. Pretty lucky there wasn't an incident there, but it was very respectful driving. People just trying to make a move on Panda there. Didn't quite get in there, though.
Big Al's going side by side with Bandcamp back there, as Bandcamp will have to slot in right behind. But I'm sure Wingman's very keen on getting past Forehead here so he can stay within the DRS train that will be forming ahead of him.
Band.
Fever and Panda just unseparable, if that's even a word.
Yeah, Band nearly did a dive on Big Al there. Didn't mean to do it obviously, but just backed out in time. Yeah, Faber and Panda very close together right now. Spicer, again, being that little bit of a cork in the bottle right now. I was talking about how a couple of people might just hold up the front runners here from getting up to the front. Panda had a little bit of a look there. Couldn't quite do anything though.
Oh, he's losing the rear end, going all sorts of squiggly, trying to just get the run on Spicer. As Fever has a look around the outside, thinks better of it. Panda's going to have a look around the outside of Mr. Spicer and get a great run. I'm sure Mr. Spicer will relinquish the position from here as he... Oh, he's still side by side though.
He did slow down a little early.
Oh, Fever's going to get held up a little bit by that. Fever's going to drop out, and will this allow Forehead to catch right back up? Yes, it will.
No damage on Fever, thankfully. Spicer has dropped all the way down. He's just behind Band now. It didn't really need to happen.
Big Al and Wingman both trying to make a move on Forehead there. Big Al getting it done. Wingman still right behind Forehead. Yeah, very unfortunate for Fever there, but I'm sure he can make that gap up again. But he does have Big Al all over his behind, as well as the rest of the DRS train that is forming. Combined keeping it nice and cool like you were predicting at the start there, Jacob.
Yeah, he's just managed to pull out a nice gap. T-Mac hasn't really been a threat to him. And Panda, he's a few seconds behind. Panda should close up this gap though. 14 laps, I mean, Combine's quick, but Panda's been rapid. And Fever is not a threat to Panda right now as well. They're just too far apart, really. So, and actually, Fever's actually being threatened by Big Al, so I'm wondering if Fever even just has like lime green damage or something. So, this has been very interesting so far.
Yeah, Big Al definitely getting all over the back of Fever here, and Fever not having the DRS from Panda ahead is going to leave him very vulnerable when we get to Casino Straight very soon.
Fever just had a tiny moment, getting a little sideways, but he's fine. Let's see, Big Al will get DRS here. We'll just stick with him here as we come up onto the straight.
Got a pretty good run here on Fever. Fever gets a better exit, but still only 4/10 back, Jacob. This should easily get right on the back of Fever through the chicane.
Skating on him here. He'll be able to go alongside. Does he try it? Backs out last second.
He thinks better of it.
May just be trying to pull the intimidation moves on Fever, but Fever knows better. And there we go. Panda sitting at 19.6. Combined is in the mid-20s as it was. T-Mac just set at 20.3. So Panda is rapidly closing in on these two drivers. And Wingman and Band are just fighting a bit further back. Spicer right behind him. A little bit of a touch there. Wingman on the outside of Band, but he does get the move done.
Mr. Spice is all watching them as well, potentially eyeing up a move if either of them make any more mistakes. As Band gets very close to the wall there, he's losing the rear end crazy.
Is that a slight case of the commentator's curse there, I wonder? But Band is still keeping going though. Tiny error.
He does not get a great run, but Mr. Spicer tries getting a better one, almost losing the rear end. Or losing the rear end, almost losing the car.
And Band is right on Wingman right now. Does Wingman have damage? Yeah, he does. He's missing an end plate. I was going to say, am I too paranoid?
Oh, no.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he is. He's missing an end plate. How unfortunate. And is almost in that DRS of T-Mac ahead, but he is losing a bit of time to the drivers ahead from the DRS that T-Mac has.
Oh, Band goes for it on Wingman, and he... Oh, no. And that did not end well. And Band is around. Wingman is around as well! So those two try to go side by side. Wingman just turns in a bit too much. Band had no room, but that was optimistic, to say the least. I don't know who you could call that as whose fault was that, but that looked pretty bad from Band's end.
Not what Band wanted to happen there, I'm very sure of. As Volcanic's getting all over the back of... Oh no, that's the AIs.
The AI drivers are really menacing Band and Wingcap. Really, yeah, they'll just be ahead of them. 8th through 13th, 8th through 12th, sorry. They're all AI drivers, don't worry about them. So those two drivers have sort of nullified themselves, and they still get to fight further back, which is awesome.
Here we go, Jacob. Panda's just gotten himself within DRS, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and there we go. So he should start reeling the drivers ahead of him in. I wonder if he'll be able to use that extra pace he's got to actually overtake both of them and drive off without getting any penalties.
Yeah, we haven't really seen any penalties so far, which has been good stuff, because I think at this point we'd started to see one or two pop up for some drivers, but yeah, Panda 19.4, he's lapping very quickly. I saw T-Mac just close up the gap a little bit to combine, but that's just changed a little bit. I wonder if T-Mac's just been a little bit slow for those last few turns, because Panda is right on him right now.
Big Al also got past Fever as well before when we were talking about it, as Wingman gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Pretty bad damage on that car.
Ooh, Panda's got a great run on T-Mac here. T-Mac luckily has DRS, but Panda's almost ready to make a move. He's going to wait and be a bit more patient. Locks up a bit, almost costs himself more time than he wants, but he is all over the back of T-Mac here.
Yes, Panda will
even go for a dive here.
He can do it because he will have DRS on the straight regardless. This is actually a decent move here. And because it's a double DRS section as well, he'll have it on the next straight as well.
But T-Mac does have DRS from combined ahead, so they will just stay side by side all the way up here. Oh, Panda stays ahead. T-Mac decides to stay behind him, try and get a better exit. Don't think he got that done though.
Panda does take second.
I think Fever's gotten back ahead of Big Al.
He has. No, there's been a ripper of a battle happening behind as well at the same time. Fever and Big Al have been trading places a little bit as well. Fever's just been a bit tied up with Big Al. Big Al's just been... He's been pretty quick. He's been pretty underrated, even though he won the last race, frankly. But the big question is now, combined, can he hold on to a 1.1 second gap? Well, Panda's just hit into the DRS zone. Well, he's into 1 second combined, so...
Combine's definitely feeling the pressure. Panda is driving so quick right now. It would be very hard to hold him behind. He will definitely get DRS here. There's no way he will lose it. And I think this might even be where he gets the move done. So he's gotten with himself within 3/10 of the hairpin. Also a little bit back, but 5/10 I think is still enough to have a bit of a go into the hairpin. Sorry, into the chicane.
No, it's not. With a little bit of weaving did seem to help, I think, but...
Oh, gets a little bit of understeer into that chicane, costs him a bit of time. Now, I don't think he'll be able to get the move done here either, as T-Mac's completely fallen off the back of him, even with the DRS.
Combine's really had to pick up his game here, and Panda sort of just wedged the two drivers apart. T-Mac was almost looking to try and make a move on Combine himself, and now look at where he is. He's actually got to look out behind him for Fever, but Panda, a monster run here. Can he do anything? He's just coming up on the inside, and he does get it done.
Yeah, he gets the move done easily. And he will also have DRS for this DRS zone to pull away from Combine. I think Combine's just realised that he can still get a podium here.
T-Mac just sneaking into 1 second of the drivers ahead, but didn't grab DRS last time around. Should down this next straight though. Fable with 3 seconds as well. That's pretty big. That means Big Al can stay ahead of him.
The curse of the pens. Big Al's going very clean weekend so far, avoiding getting any corner cut penalties so far.
It's the name of the game, really. Again, it's so tight in these F2 cars that, you know, especially around Canada, you know, where it's so easy to get penalties, you can really just, you can gain so many places after the race just by keeping it clean the whole way through. It's really important.
Yeah, for sure. As Combined still easily able to stay very close behind Panda with the DRS, but I think Panda may even be able to get out of it here before the next corner, because Combined did not take that very quickly, because T-Mac's even right on his bum.
Oh, and looking a bit further back, Phoebus just made a bit of a mistake, I think, because Big Al is right on him for some reason. It was like a 1.5 second gap. It's now closed down to about half a second. I'm just trying to see if there's any damage on the Fever Mobile. Does not appear so just a tiny mistake, I think.
T-Mac is all over the back of Combined here, and Combined, as it stands, will lose DRS. Oh, he's just called himself back in with a great exit. He does enough to hold DRS, so he should still be able to hold position as Big Al goes ahead of Fever now. Fever, I think, has lost it.
He does have damage as well, just some in-plate damage, but with 6 seconds of penalties and a couple of decent drivers behind him, he's going to do well to hold on to 5th place here. And T-Mac up ahead.
Ooh! He's right on the back of Combined here. He'll have to stay behind, but if he can get himself a better run through here... No, he cut Jacob!
Both of them have 3 seconds now. Both of them.
Oh, he's going to have to do what he can to get ahead. They've still got a very good buffer with Big Al if they don't fight too much. But I don't think any driver is willing to give up this position at this point.
Fever's pit. He only had in-plate damage. Unless he had more damage, that's kind of interesting that he decides to pit here. Maybe he's going for fastest lap, but I think he's just sacrificed too many points. I'm not sure. Yeah.
He's still going to be able to...
Because he's got the AI.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's...
He's not
I don't
on
know what he's thinking there. T-Mac is
Yeah.
literally pushing Combined YouTuber down the straight. Gets right next to him, gets side by side. He should easily be able to get the move done here into this. Yep, and Combined YouTube is just right behind him still though. Losing the rear end a little bit. I wonder if Combined will have another go at him onto Casino Straight. As they're just going around their hairpin now. Combined's got a pretty good hairpin and exit. I think T-Mac might be a bit of a sitting duck here, Jacob.
It's looking pretty good. We did see earlier Panda did struggle to get into like a range to pass the driver ahead. But yeah, Combined is just lifting here. He wants to get the move done into turn 1. Let's see if he can do that. Decent run out of the chicane will do him good, and it has. And he should try and pop it on the inside here. Is he going for the outside?
T-Mac puts himself there. Decides to go for the outside, which becomes the inside for T2, and I think Combined might stay ahead through here. he's done what he needs to do. That very great job from Combine there, but I'm sure T-Mac will just be waiting for this next DRS zone coming up as he stays all over the back of Combined here.
Yeah, one thing to factor in this battle for second place is that you can't factor out Big Al here. He doesn't have any penalties. Combined and T-Mac both have 3 seconds. Big Al is within the range of these two drivers, and Big Al is importantly a touch faster than the two drivers ahead of him.
For sure. And like I was saying before, Combined and T-Mac need to stop battling to try and get out of that 3 seconds of Big Al, but unfortunately both of them want second place. So they will be fighting, which enables Big Al to just stay cruising within that 3 seconds, although he does seem to be having a bit of trouble keeping up with them because of the DRS these two guys have ahead of him.
Yeah, well, these two are just doing so well. Oh, here we go. T-Mac closing in. Is he going to go for a move? He's on the outside here. Let's see if they can keep it clean. Yep, no, he just goes a bit deeper. Just allows Combine to sort of take the line.
I think Combine will keep this position now. T-Mac's too far back to make a move. Very well done from Combine there. Big Al is only 2 seconds behind them now after that chicane, Jacob.
Yeah, it's sort of slowed down T-Mac, taking it a bit wider though. It's 2.5, 2.6 seconds to Combined ahead. So Big Al is holding his position right now. Doesn't have to worry about anything like dirty air. Doesn't have to worry about anything behind him or anything. He just has to push. That's really just it. He's in a good spot here, is Big Al. So, lap 12 and 14, only a couple of laps left to run. Panda has 3 seconds now. That should be inconsequential considering next drivers are about 5 seconds behind. His teammate has to cut that corner a little bit there. That will have incurred a warning at the very least.
Big Al is only 1.5 seconds off them now. Wow. He's catching them so quick, but I think T-Mac will still want to get this position on Combined because they still are fighting for a podium here.
Yeah, exactly. One of these drivers is going to finish 4th, sadly, and at this point it's looking like it's T-Mac. I was going to say Big Mac for a second. The two drivers are paired together in Tier 1. I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier, but...
T-Mac does have a very good run on Combined here. We'll probably think about doing the same kind of move Combined does, but Combined positions himself around the outside. T-Mac's still too far back. He'll be thinking about the next DRS zone, but Combined locked the rears a little bit by the look of it. Oh! T-Mac loses the rear end a little bit now. Lost himself a few tenths. Not what you want to have happen when you're chasing down your rival.
It's now 1.9 seconds from Big Al to Combined. It's not looking too promising here. I think Big Al's just too quick. These guys are just going to keep it clean at this point. Don't do anything crazy. Combined and T-Mac are fighting for 3rd place effectively, but they've got to keep it clean and they want to finish. That's the main thing.
Sure, our T-Mac takes that so much better than Combined did just then. He might even be able to think about making a move into the hairpin, which I think he's decides better of it. Could have positioned himself on the inside there, but decided to get try and get a better run on the exit of their hairpin. But yeah, he's definitely going to get the move done here, Jacob. He's so close behind Combined here. Combined's definitely doing everything he can to break the toe, but T-Mac is just going to sail past. Goes round the outside of him here, positions himself at the inside. It's not what he wants. It's going to cost him so much time doing this. Big Al is now right within a second. Or will be in a second.
Yeah, Combined's exit was just compromised by T-Mac, going a touch slower at the exit of that chicane. Combined couldn't really do anything, so Combined will have to sit behind T-Mac as we're on the last lap here at Canada. Panda pretty comfortably in the lead. T-Mac and Combined fighting for second, but what will effectively be third as Big Al behind them is set to overtake them on penalties. It's going to be a very interesting race here. Let's see what these front runners do here. Can Combined make a late move on T-Mac?
Well, I don't think he got the best run through there. He's a bit far back here, but as long as he stays within that 6/10 range when they exit the hairpin, I think Combined should be able to have a decent go at him. Oh, it's getting very, very close here. I guess we'll be waiting on seeing what happens here at the hairpin as Combined locks up a little bit, but still gets a pretty good exit. He's right on the back of T-Mac.
Yeah. T-Mac
I
keeping it
think he might
hard
be able to
left.
get the move done. Oh, this is going to be so close, Jacob. It's going to go right down to it.
Here comes the Omega Send, everybody. Combine able to sort of get it mostly done, but T-Mac goes deeper. Combine just has to turn in anyway. Panda does come across and does win this race, but T-Mac does stay ahead. Combine might try again.
Oh, literally. Oh, two hundredths of a second there, Jacob.
Wow, that's so
Combine
close.
just manages to stay ahead.
With
Wow, that was so close.
With that tap at the chicane, I'm surprised that they didn't even spin or anything. It's very lucky that they even finished, but great racing from them. That was a close battle all the way through. Big Al, again with penalties, does benefit and does grab second place. Forehead in fifth, Spicer in sixth. AI still battling it out further back, but these guys are all inconsequential. Band is the last driver on track, as well as Fever just skidding around on those super softs. Band just coming across the line now. And again, very good race. Combine just couldn't get that big of a buffer to sort of hold off Panda, who was just too quick at the end, I think, as well. And Panda just take a pretty comfortable win here at Canada.
Oh wow, and what a great race from Big Al. He finished first place in the first race and second in the sprint, so I think he will be the first for the weekend, but we will wait and see in a second.
Fever just losing most of his front wing before the chicane. Pretty good place to do it.
Doing some drifts to show off.
Shane Van Giz. Oh, here we go. I appreciate the effort nonetheless. Smitty, thanks for the 9 months.
Pretty slick drifts, to be honest.
Yes. Dan Tictum. He's in the Tictum car. Yeah. Driver of the day, Vexation, did pretty well being AI. Yep. Overpowered. Alright. So again, well deserved from Panda. Just kept it just kept it pretty clean. Just got it done was the main thing. Cleared Fever. Great race on him all around, and of course Big Al keeping it clean. Vexation of Vape Nation. I'm pretty sure you know it's Vexation, but I appreciate the joke nonetheless.
Oh, well, that was a pretty entertaining race there, Jacob.
There's great stuff from the drivers here. So just getting up to the leaderboards now. Yes, Panda, fastest lap, wins the race. 17 points for him.
Ooh!
Big Al.
Look at the weekend result. Oh,
I'll see it in a second. Big Al combined T-Mac forehead. Spicer they're the only 6 finishers in the points. Just missing out is Band and Wingman and Fever down back. Let's check out the weekend results. If I'm gonna press that first. Yes, Panda by 1 point wins because of the qualifying and the fastest lap. He does win by 1 point. Big Al in second place with 37. Fever 18, Forehead with 16 points. Great finish from him. T-Mac and combined Wingman and Spicer. Alright guys. Well, wonderful couple of races here on this Friday night. So that's us for the night. Do join us again on Sunday night. I believe we have Azerbaijan starting at 5:30 Australian. Tier 3, that is Tier 1 at 7 o'clock and Tier 2 at 8:30. Until then, I've been Jacob Meister. I've been joined by Batemate tonight, and we hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care.
See you guys.